Hi guys, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm just looking at my solar rockers that are running off various types of batteries. I've had a thought. My solar snowman, who's running off water, I have been saying in the comments on that video that you really shouldn't be running because they're not supposed to run on plain water, because there shouldn't be any free ions to transfer the charge from the copper to the magnesium in this case. But obviously there's enough free ions in the water for that to work, because we can see it is working. So I was thinking, do I go out and buy some de-ionized water to test it? Or, whoa, focus, down there is our dehumidifier. In theory, the water that's collected in that should be de-ionized, because it's moisture that's been condensed out of the atmosphere. So it should be pure, it should just be plain water. So I'm going to rig up a glass just like that, pour some of that into it, and what I'll do is I'll take apart the avocado stone setup, because that, although it twitches occasionally, that's practically dead. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can run the butterfly on de-ionized water. I think I'll actually do it in the kitchen. I'll put the lights on in there so we can actually see what we're doing. So we're set up. We got fresh copper plate, fresh magnesium, all in place. So I'll go and get some of that water out the dehumidifier and see what happens. Let me pour this in one go without making a mess. And we made a mess. Well, I'll just leave that for a while. How about that one? Can you see that one? Yeah. We'll just leave it and see if anything happens after a few minutes. I'll just check he's not jammed. I'm just going to tap it, so don't think this is it starting. I'm just tapping it to make sure it's rocking freely. Yeah. Right, we will leave that for a while and see if anything happens. I'm going to go in the other room where I'm doing some video editing. I'll just leave this running. I just thought that clock's got a second hand on it instead, so at least we can see what's happening. A bit more visual. Right, we've given it about half an hour and I don't see any movement. So the next thing I'm going to do is put some salt in there. Before I do that, I'll just move the camera and see if we can see any bubbles. I think I can see some bubbles forming on the magnesium strip. Yeah, there are some bubbles forming there, but they're not actually bubbling up and looking active like they do in the other one. So I'll put the camera back where it was. Okay, I'll get some salt. We could use vinegar instead, but I'll try salt. The thing with salt is it'll probably take longer to dissolve and make any difference. Yeah, that's going to take too long to dissolve, I think. I'll see if I've got some vinegar handy. I can see bubbles on the magnesium now. So if the camera will pick it up, I can see them. Oh, I definitely see bubbles now. I'm going to move the camera again so you can see the bubbles. So we've definitely got a reaction going now. Question is, will it start rocking? Just zooming back out again. I'm trying very hard not to knock the flower and start it rocking accidentally. But I probably will now when I'm doing this. .79. You should be rocking. Why are you not rocking yet? That's another half an hour gone, and it's not moving. I really can't believe why it's not moving, because we've got plenty of bubbles coming up on there, so there's a good current flow. which leaves it to either a bad connection or we just need to give it a tap. Well, that's not flying away. I do hope it's not just a bad connection. Ah! It was a bad connection on the magnesium. We know what that means. I'm going to have to start the whole experiment all over again. Need to clean this out and get some more clean water, because we can't honestly say it wasn't working before. Oh, that is so annoying. Right, start again. Right, guys, this is take 2. First time through, nothing happened, which is what I expected, but I then added some vinegar to the water to add some free ions to it, and still nothing happened. And eventually I tracked it down. I got a bad connection. So I couldn't definitely say it didn't work with the de-ionized water at the beginning, because it didn't work when I put ions in it either. So we'll set it up again. I've washed it out with de-ionized water, because there's no point in washing it out with tap water, because that'll be back to where we are with the solar snowman that's running on tap water. Because the point is, tap water's got ions in it. De-ionized water doesn't have ions in it. Well, that's the theory. So, copper, magnesium. Copper on there. Shove the clock round there. And he was the one that wasn't making a good contact. Let's see if that will make it any better. Let that settle down, because I've just knocked it. Luckily, I put some water in the jar for future use. So, otherwise, we'd have to wait for my dehumidifier to work again. So let's try plain water, distilled water, de-ionized water, whatever word you want to use. Oh, dear me. You're not supposed to work, mate. So I spent an hour filming it because it wasn't working with de-ionized water in it. But that was because I had a bad connection. Oh, dear me. The clock's there to allow for it to charge up, but we don't need it. It's working, and it shouldn't be. Well, we're only getting about 1 volt. 0.8 of a volt there. Well, because we've got load on it, haven't we? That fellow's actually taking charge. why it's jumping around. Because it's charging up the capacitor, then the capacitor's being discharged, then it's charging up again. So when we measure across there, we're not getting a steady reading because the capacitor's charging and discharging. And that would explain why we were getting 1.8 volts when I measured across there earlier, because we had a bad connection there, so that wasn't drawing any current, we were just getting the full reading. Oh well, we learn something every day. If I disconnect that one and then measure across there, see what we get now. Can we still see the meter? Yeah, 1.5 volts when we've got no load on it. Put him back on there. Starts up straight away. And we got about 0.7, 0.8 because he's drawing current. Right, well, that is not what I wanted to demonstrate. That is very frustrating because I thought it was not working like it shouldn't work, but it was because I had a bad connection. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.